Hey everybody, this is David at Barnyard Bees. Well, the long-awaited goldenrod is finally getting here. That means we're slowly moving away from the dearth, and the bees on the outside sugar feeder aren't as active or aggressively eating the sugar like they was. So this will be a huge help, and the conditions this year have been pretty good. It's not been too wet, it's not been too dry. We've had a good combination of rain this year. You never know from year to year. You can't always depend on the goldenrod. That's why you should always feed right through the dearth, preferably outside feeders. Or if you don't have any issues with too much robbing, then internal feeders. But like I've always said, I always recommend outside feeders. At this time of year, I just have better luck with it. But it's always good in the fall to see this coming. Today's September 8th, is it? I don't forget what day it is. But anyway, it's coming up. It's starting to look strong. I just had filled this feeder up. There wasn't a whole lot in it. The bees, you can always tell when they're onto something else, because they start ignoring the sugar water. Now this will increase a little bit because it was pretty low, and there was probably maybe 3 inches in it, but it wasn't coming out real good because of the pressure pushing out of the little holes. But there was a handful on it, and loud goose. Don't like my presence. But anyway, you'll start seeing the bees. They've been working. I've been watching them the last few days, and even though this was pretty much empty, or almost empty, or not putting out much, the bees were still working. Like I said, the goldenrod's popping up, and it looks like we're coming into a flow, the goldenrod fall flow. This colony here, very teeny tiny, and I could have even put it back to a 2-frame, but you can see it looks like, just from feeding them in the open feeders, that they're starting to increase back. See a small pattern of cat brood in there, but you know, once a population is down, it's going to take them a while, because she's not going to go ahead and spot up every available hole, because they still have to have the number of bees to take care of those. Now look here, I'm going to show you something, because some of these bees' supply was getting low. Look, this whole frame here is, on this side, is completely packed with nectar and actually sugar water. This side isn't, but they got a good little start right there. Remember, the bees are always a little happier when they're working and they got something to do. Got the same thing here. We got some nectar, sugar water, cat brood, larvae, different stages of larvae and eggs on that side. This colony here will definitely need a lot of attention if it's going to survive. It's very tiny. This whole corner is packed with eggs, so they're throttled on up. You know, I'll just keep babying this little thing, and probably go ahead and put it back to a 2-frame. And remember, I set what frames I had to the side to keep the wax moths out. You notice there was no wax moths, and I didn't notice any hive beetles. Now you may have saw one that I didn't, but I didn't notice any. You can see this double deep here. Now they still don't have a lot of flow. It's not like what a flow that you would see in the spring. You know, the fall flow is minimal. It's not real strong, but they are working and they are bringing stuff in. And a lot of the old timers used to say that there's enough nectar in the goldenrod to get them through the winter. Well, I agree with that a little bit, and some I don't. It's a lot of that depends on the conditions at that time. You can't completely depend on that. You know, you don't want to rob all your honey and then come goldenrod and thinking, oh, well, they'll have plenty of honey to get through the winter. You can't. I don't believe those bees can, especially these large hives, robbing all their honey and then thinking that they're going to get plenty to eat in the fall flow. It's just not advisable. I just don't think that they could possibly do that. That's a lot of nectar and honey to replace. That's why, you know, it's best to help your bees a bit. This little tin frame here was struggling a little bit. I can see the strength in it building up. So that one will be good shape. This one here was packed out pretty good. But that's about it, folks. Just wanted to show you a little update and talk about the goldenrod. And that's about it. Enjoy watching the flow as the bees carry the goldenrod, the last flow of the season. You see pollen on their legs coming in. It sure is a good sight to see after a dearth. Don't forget, folks, click on the little bell, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Barnyard Bees.